Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Hi guys, my name's Connor if you're new. I like to learn about things and watch stuff, and that's what we're going to do right now. History Matters, great channel. Why did Britain give Heligoland to Germany? I don't even know what that is. Assuming World War I stuff? I don't know. It could be a few different... let's go. The original link to the video, top description, Discord, same thing. Start.
Heligoland is a tiny island here off the coast of what's now Germany. It belonged to numerous states until the early 19th century.
Sorry, restart.
Heligoland is a tiny island here off the coast of what's now Germany. It belonged to numerous states until the early 19th century when it came into the control of the British. They stayed there for almost a century when they handed the island over to the new German Empire. But given the island's valuable position off the coast of Germany, this raises the question, why did Britain give Heligoland to Germany? So, to go back, Heligoland had belonged to many states throughout history before it came under the control of the Danish in the early 18th century. It remained a part of the Danish realm until the early 19th century when the Danish opted to side with Napoleon against the British. The Royal Navy soon seized the island, and Britain's control over it was formalised in the Treaty of Kiel in 1814. The idea behind Britain obtaining this minuscule island was that it would be built up as a naval base, and would then be used to patrol the seas around it against France, the Netherlands and Prussia. As you'll know, Germany unified in 1871, and its leaders wanted to establish it as an industrial and military powerhouse that could rival any other. And Heligoland presented a major issue due to its proximity to the brand new Kiel Canal. Now, the British didn't want to turn the island into a military base, but the problem for Germany wasn't Britain using the island, but everybody else. In 1848, the Danish and Prussians fought a war, and the Danish were able to blockade the Elbe River and cut off trade by using Heligoland as a neutral safe harbour. Now, the Germans weren't worried about the Danish, but the French. War between the two again seemed likely, and if France's larger navy was able to use Heligoland as safe harbour, Germany may find itself in trouble. As such, the German government desperately wanted to get their hands on it. This led to a series of discussions between the two powers, which ended in Britain handing over Heligoland to Germany in 1890. This was part of a broader deal with Germany to further divide Africa between them and improve relations. In return for Heligoland, Britain was handed this land in East Africa, and Germany agreed not to interfere in whatever Britain did in the area. Furthermore, Britain acknowledged Germany's control over this land here. The British were very happy with the treaty, having received these lands and a free hand.
So this is present-day Namibian borders, right? Or maybe it's a bit fatter today, but it definitely has this part, and I didn't know that was added right here, and I wonder what. I'm assuming that that's maybe a land strip to a river, navigable river, so that they can trade and then put it over here to a port. I don't exactly know. Interesting, though.
All over this land here. The British were very happy with the treaty, having received these lands and a free hand in the region, and all of it in return for an island that they didn't really care for. The initial hope was that by taking a step away from Germany's coast, it would improve relations, and would importantly mean that the Kaiser wouldn't feel the need to build up his navy to counter Britain in the North Sea, but fun fact, no. In Germany, the response to the treaty was mostly one of anger. Many believed that the government had sold Germany short, and had given Britain far more than Germany had received. As a result of the handover, many German politicians
I love to read the newspapers. I'll do that at the end.
And had given Britain far more than Germany had received. As a result of the handover, many German politicians took a harder line towards German imperial expansion in Africa, feeling that this embarrassment needed to be rectified by other means.
Geez, sorry. I shouldn't pause.
Many believed that the government had sold Germany short, and had given Britain far more than Germany had received. As a result of the handover, many German politicians took a harder line towards German imperial expansion in Africa, feeling that this embarrassment needed to be rectified by other means. 2 world wars later, the islands once again fell under British control as part of its occupation zone, and thus they had to prepare the island for a post-war existence. And the British plan was simple: blow it up. Turns out that's quite hard, and so the British moved to Plan B.
What? Are you serious?
Was simple: blow it up.
Is that a figure of speech? I mean... Really?
Turns out that's quite hard, and so the British moved to Plan B, give up. And thus, Heligoland, alongside the rest of the Allied occupation zones, were incorporated into West Germany in 1949, and it remains a part of Germany to this day. I hope you enjoyed this episode, with a special thanks
to great episode as always.
My patrons, James Bizanet, Kelly Moneymaker, Corsho Wolf, Sky...
The British Royal Navy is so overpowered, it's insane. I said this in a few things, but it's worth saying multiple times. Being a European power, and Europe being this, a lot of warfare going on, no shortage of it at least. Just having this incredibly strong navy with the English Channel and the North Sea, water in between you and mainland Europe with the bigger armies. It's you. First of all, if they want to take you down, they have to go through your navy. There's no other way than to go through your navy until an air force became a thing and Germany tried to bomb it out, but that didn't work either. Who knows if it would have worked if more time went by, and I don't know. I wonder how Britain would have pulled out in World War II, would have worked out in World War II if America didn't. Obviously, you guys were fighting before America entered, right? So that's not the point. Okay, it just popped in my head. But being able to not be touched unless they break through your navy, and at the same time being able to blockade or bombard places from the ocean, and then being like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do about it? Well, come on land and we'll show you. Well, no, I'm not doing that. It's just so overpowered.
And thus they had to prepare the island for a post-war existence.
And so a great video, but also Germany is fascinating in the 19th century. I just think, well, they only became a thing in 1870, something like that. But they were still German-speaking places, and it just seems like Germany from 1870 to 1945 really is just trying to get on the same level as France and the United Kingdom, which they certainly did. It's just they didn't hold it because of World War I and World War II. But yeah, I'm over explaining or talking here. Really cool video. Hope you guys are all doing well. Would love to see any comments, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.